there are four main differences from the Brazilian Portuguese to European Portuguese from the Portugal. The first one is the accent. Our accent is totally different from the European. For example, I would say, eu estou em Lisboa. I am in Lisbon. But a Portuguese person, they would pronounce. I will try to cope then. Eu estou em Lisboa, Portugal. I would pronounce these are also different. Portugal. But they are is very different the way they pronounce it. Portugal, this S, it sounds like a carioca also. Lisboa. Next one is the pronoun eu. Here in Brazil, when you translate actually the pronoun eu into Portuguese, we have você and tu. In Brazil, the most common is você. We always use você. There are regions that they can use it tu. But the most common in Brazil is você. And the conjugation of você is the second. Você fala, ele fala. It's the same as he and she. But in Portugal, they use the pronoun tu. The same meaning, but the conjugations change. Like, você fala português, but tu falas português. In the European accent, tu falas português. Here in Brazil, we would say, você fala português. Their idea, they don't use the gerund. What is the gerund? In English, for example, I am speaking. In Portuguese, in Brazilian Portuguese, I would say, eu estou falando. But in Portugal, they don't say this ando, ing. They would say, eu estou a falar. They use like I am, the preposition a, and the next verb in the infinitive. Like I am speaking, it's like they are saying, I am to speak. And they use this in the present, past, and in the future. For example, eu estou bebendo. I am drinking. They would say, eu estou a beber. In the past, ontem eu estava viajando. Yesterday I was traveling. But they would say, ontem eu estava a viajar. This is very different. And the last difference is the vocabulary. They have 90% is the same vocabulary, but the other 10% is very different. For example, here in Brazil we say menino for a boy, but there they call miúdo, or another. For example, here in Brazil, woman, mulher, but there they call woman rapariga. If you say this word rapariga in Brazil, is other meaning, but 90% of the vocabulary is the same, but 10% and it's very different.